Hey guys, Dora here, and today I'm doing a tag video. The tag I decided to do today, as you guys can already tell by the title, is the rapid fire book tag. In advance, I apologize for any noise you hear in the background. As you can tell, my neighbors, they have children, so they're being extra annoying today. Why can't they go back to school? And the purpose of the tag is to answer the following questions without overthinking them. So without further ado, let's just get into it. So question 1 is ebook or physical books? For me personally, I love physical books. They're perfect for every occasion, and the plus side of physical books is that they go beautifully in bookshelves. Now you're probably wondering, Dora, your bookshelves are empty. Yeah, my books are in storage right now. We had a little problem situation that required me to put them in storage as a precaution, but they'll be back in their rightful place in a couple of weeks. Question number 2, paperback or hardback? This is a hard question for me because I personally enjoy both. Both paperback and hardbacks have their pros and cons, but I love hardback covers. Question number 3, online or in-store book shopping? I will go with online, mostly because it's much more cheaper to shop online than it is to actually go into the store. And let's face it, you save money on gas because you don't have to drive to the bookstore. Question number 4, trilogies or series? I prefer series. Now, if you were there for the dystopian era, and Christine from Pulling Bananas Books said this, and I absolutely agree with it, most dystopian novels were trilogies. Trilogies never, ever, in my opinion, came with enough closure. That third and final book, you're trying to conclude a story the fastest way possible and try to resolve everything, which never ends up satisfying the reader. Next question, heroes or villain? For this question, I'm going to go with villain. There's so many lovable villains out there that just take your breath away. But sometimes villains are the heroes underneath. Very, very underneath, if you know what I mean. A book you want everyone to read. I'm going to go with a book that I recently read, and that is The Female of the Species by Mindy McGinnis. It has so many great themes, the characters were amazing, the plot of the story was amazing, and if you've watched my February wrap-up, you'll know that I said that for a contemporary novel, this was not a predictable book. So I really do recommend The Female of the Species. Recommend an underrated book. For this, I'm going to go with Killer Instinct by S.E. Green. This book is amazing, and I just recently found out that the author is making a third book, and hopefully it doesn't end there because, like I said, I don't like trilogies that much. If it has to be 4 books, I'm okay with that. But please don't make it into a trilogy. Killer Instinct is about a girl named Lane who has serial killing tendencies. She loves anything that has to do with serial killers because she believes she's a serial killer in the making. My friend Ashley and I from Ashley Reads, we became friends because of this book. So, I cannot stress this enough. Killer Instinct is an amazing book, and I believe everyone should read it. I hope I got the underrated part right. If not, I am so sorry. The last book you finished. The last book I finished was Caravel by Stephanie Garber. I gave this book a 92%. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I've heard that The Night Circus is similar to it, so I'm hoping to read The Night Circus because I loved Caravel. I thought it was a great story. There were some things I didn't like, but I will talk about them in my March wrap-up. Last book you bought. This is really hard because I cannot remember the last book I bought. I bought Caravel audiobook form. Oh god, yeah. Like I said, all my books are in storage, and for some reason I had the urge to read a book so badly that I ended up buying Caravel audiobook form. Weirdest thing you've used as a bookmark. I think the weirdest thing I've used for a bookmark is a sock. A clean sock. I was doing laundry. This was before I decided to get into audiobooks, so I had my book open while I was folding my laundry, and my mom called me up and she's like, hey, can you come downstairs for a second? And I was like, okay, and I didn't know what to do because I couldn't find a bookmark. Guess I have to use a sock then, so I used one of my socks for a bookmark. My book actually ended up smelling of fabric softener for quite a while. Used books, yes or no? Well, here's my dilemma. I bought 2 used books and I talked about them in my very late January book haul, and I didn't think anything of it. You know, I bought them. I really am not that cringy when it comes to used books or library books, but because of the situation that ended up causing me to put my books in storage, I read online that used books and library books are more prone to bed bugs, the hardback covers, to live in the spine. After that, I don't know whether I will be purchasing any more used books, or if maybe in a few weeks my neurosis will calm down and my paranoia will calm down and I'll end up buying more Harry Potter books. But as of right now, my answer for used books is no. Top 3 favorite genres: historical fiction, fantasy, and magical realism. Borrow or buy. Now I guess this goes into the whole used book scenario. I will not borrow from the library anytime soon, and I will most definitely not be borrowing from a friend because I don't have many friends that read, so I don't borrow books from them. So as a default, buy. I buy. I don't borrow, I buy. Characters or plot? For this, I'm going to go with characters. I know the plot is a big part of the story, but if the characters aren't likable, then the plot won't matter. Long or short books? I'm going to go with, this is a tough one. Oh my god, we're getting into the tough questions. I'm gonna go with long. I like big books and I cannot lie. If you guys caught that, I almost started singing it. Big books makes me feel like I'm actually accomplishing more reading than if I were to read a short book. When a book is like 600 or 800 pages long, it's like, whew, I'm going to finish this beast. Short or long chapters? Now this is the opposite actually. I like short chapters because I feel like I'm reading faster than if I were to read books with long chapters, if that makes sense. I like big books, but I love short chapters. Name the first 3 books you can think of. Okay, Female of the Species, Lady Midnight, and Caraval. There we go. The Female of the Species, Lady Midnight, and Caraval. Books that make you cry or laugh? Oh my gosh, I love both of them. I can't choose. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna decide on this one. I love when a book makes me cry and I love when a book makes me laugh. And if it's in the same book, kudos to that author because they are doing something right. Our world or fictional world? Well, as things are going on right now, I'm gonna say fictional world because the real world, the world we're living in, it's going, let's just face it, everything's going to right now. So I choose fictional world. Audiobooks, yes or no? I think I already answered this one earlier on, so I'm going to say yes. I've been listening to a whole bunch of audiobooks lately. I've been getting the hang of audiobooks, and the only time I have to read is when I listen to the audiobook on the drive to work. Do you ever judge a book by its cover? Whew. I feel like I'm confessing my sins right now, but I am guilty of judging a book by its cover. One of my favorite series, the Vampire Academy series, their cover, not entirely sexy. It's not a nice cover, let's be honest. So when I was gifted that for my birthday, I was like, But it turned out to be such an amazing series. It turned out to be one of my favorite series of all time. So I'm trying not to judge a book by its cover that often, but I still see myself doing it sometimes. Book to movie or book to TV adaptation? For this one, I'm going to go with TV. I do love watching books to movie adaptations, but sometimes, but sometimes the movie is more rushed. But nowadays, the movie has to be no more than 2 hours. Which brings me to the point that book to TV adaptations, they have more freedom into how much of the first book will go in the first season. That's why I prefer book to TV adaptations instead of book to movie adaptations. Now, I know what you're all thinking. Dora, the Mortal Instruments series. You know what? That doesn't count. Mostly because they did both. Okay, they did the movie and they did the series. The movie, though it was mostly accurate to the book, it didn't do so well in the box office. And now we have the TV series, which practically threw the entire book series out the window. Don't get me wrong, they still have some lines and some scenes that were in the book, but what the hell is going on? Which brings me to my point. They have that freedom. They have that time to figure out how much of the book to put into the TV series and how much of the new stuff they could sell to a broader audience, not just the book lovers. A movie or TV show you preferred to its book. And for this one, I'm gonna have to go with movie. I've never read The Vampire Diaries, and then I stopped watching it after season 2. Like I said, the Shadowhunter TV series, they threw the books out the window. I don't know what the hell they're doing. But all the same, I still love the TV show, but I don't prefer it. So I'm going to go to the movie version. So the movie I preferred to its book is The Book Thief. I think The Book Thief was done beautifully. If you don't know what The Book Thief is, read the book and then watch the movie. Sure, the movie didn't have some of my favorite scenes from the book, but I still believe that the movie was absolutely gorgeous. I absolutely love it. And I said absolutely like 4 times in one sentence. But either way, I do prefer the Book Thief movie to the book, which now makes me want to read The Book Thief again. And the last question is series or standalones? And for this one, I'm going to go with series. Because standalones, you get a whole story in one book and sometimes the ending sucks. The endings, what are those? No, those aren't ending. Those are like little ... things, you know, like thinking. I don't want to think what's gonna happen next. I want to know what happens next. So that was the rapid fire book tag. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave in the comments below your answers to these questions if you don't want to make a video, or make a video. I'll watch it. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see more of my face, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!